The Mercer County Sheriff's Department is investigating the death of a toddler who was found in a bathtub yesterday morning.
High winds ushering in a March-like weekend across central and eastern Kentucky. We'll track the temperatures that go up and then go down in just a moment.
A young father who was shot several times this morning has died. We'll have more on the murder investigation ahead.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Amber Philpott reporting. Jennifer has the afternoon off. It is feeling like March here in the Bluegrass with gusty winds for us on this Friday. Take a look. This is a live picture now of downtown Lexington. We have seen the sun shining, and we're also seeing some 60-degree weather. But there is a chance, though, of some showers for our weekend. Let's check in first with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Amber. All about the winds and the temperatures out there today. Those gusts at one point hitting 52 miles per hour in Lexington. Thankfully, winds are beginning to calm down just a little bit. Those peak gusts are still between 30 and 40 miles per hour across the entire area. Down to 32 Lexington. I say down to 32. That's what we're feeling compared to that 52 mile per hour gust a few hours ago. We still have the wind advisory that goes until 7 o'clock this evening. Some high clouds beginning to press on into town, and eventually we may see a light shower come from those clouds a little later on tonight. How about the day tomorrow? It's windy, it's mild, smallest threat for a shower in the morning, but those temperatures by the afternoon back into the low and mid 60s across the entire area. Overall, that is a very good looking start to the weekend. When I come back here in about 15 minutes from now, we'll focus on that hour by hour forecast for the weekend, and then Amber will talk about a big temperature drop as we roll into next week.
All right, we'll see you then, Chris. Thank you. An investigation is underway in central Kentucky after the death of a toddler. The 22-month-old was found unresponsive at a home on Bohan Road in Mercer County. Now the Sheriff's Department is trying to figure out exactly how the little girl died. WKYT's Victor Puente has the details on the investigation from the Sheriff's Department. It's our top story at 4.
Investigators tell me that child was found in the bathtub by her grandmother. That started a death investigation that's still in the early stages. The Mercer County Sheriff tells me they got the call around 11:30 yesterday morning of an unresponsive child at a home on Bohan Road. The sheriff says that when paramedics arrived, the child's family was already performing CPR. Those paramedics took over and she was rushed to a hospital but didn't survive. He said the child was at the home with an adult male and another child. He also said it was her grandmother who called 911. He said right now they can't release any other details of their investigation. He did say this case has been difficult for his detectives.
Very hard for us to work cases. It's hard for anybody when you have a death of any type. It's hard on anyone, and it's especially hard when it's a child.
I also spoke to a neighbor who said she helped the family perform CPR on that toddler. I'll tell you more about what she had to say coming up at 5. In Mercer County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Sheriff Kelty said an autopsy was performed on the baby this morning, and they're still waiting on those results. Lexington police are looking for suspects in an overnight murder. 23-year-old LaRoz Mitchell was shot outside Camelot East. Police say he was brought to St. Joseph East before being transferred to UK Hospital, where he died. A manager at a nearby business says this is not the first time someone has died because of a shooting outside the strip club.
We've had one young man, probably about 19 years old. His brother was 25, and he was shot over here about a year and a half ago, and he was killed over here at Camelot East.
This is Lexington's 5th homicide of 2016. We'll have an update on the investigation on WKYT News at 4:30. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hello, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. A former Lee County Circuit clerk admits to taking more than $100,000 from taxpayers. Emma Adams entered a guilty plea to abuse of public trust this morning. As part of her plea, Adams handed over a check for $156,000. The rest will be repaid through a payment plan. She'll be sentenced on April 1st. We'll have more from court ahead on WKYT News at 5. A Trinity High School student in Louisville who became a champion in the fight against cancer is being remembered in a special way. Owen McMaster's classmates are helping transform one of the rooms at Kosair Children's Hospital that helped before his death earlier this week. Most of the patients treated for cancer at Kosair Children's Hospital are younger and they enjoy playrooms, but the teen activity room is much smaller and needs improvement. We'll show you how the room was transformed ahead on WKYT News at 4:30. Last night's UK basketball game was the first home game since the UK boogeyman, Darren Moscow, fell with a girl while dancing in an aisleway in Rupp Arena. They were not injured, but the fall grabbed national attention. UK Athletics then told fans not to dance in the stairways and aisles anymore, but they could still dance at their seats. Moscow received a standing ovation last night after his performance in his seat. We'll have reaction from him ahead on WKYT News at 5. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. It is a somber day in the nation's capital where thousands visited the Supreme Court to pay respects to Justice Antonin Scalia. He served nearly 30 years on the bench before passing away last Saturday. Weijia Jiang reports from Washington.
President Obama and the First Lady arrived at the Supreme Court Friday afternoon to pay their respects to the late Justice Antonin Scalia. Scalia's body arrived hours before in a flag-draped casket, surrounded by his former law clerks. Scalia's son, Father Paul Scalia, led a service inside the court chamber.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Denise and Kevin O'Donnell traveled from Philadelphia for the public viewing.
Despite all the rancor that's going on with the politics going on, it was nice to be able to just see something done with a lot of respect and a lot of honor.
I think that's the thing that kind of moved us both to, take advantage of this and come down, because he was a man of faith and he lived it and he practiced it.
The line to get into the Supreme Court wraps around the block twice. Visitors are here from across the country, many of whom say they didn't agree with Scalia's views, but still admired his work.
I'm a lawyer, and so I really respect the justices and the offices that they hold, and he really, I thought, did a lot for bringing the public into the court.
Friends and colleagues describe Scalia as being larger than life, a conservative, controversial justice, and one of the most influential ever. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
President Obama will not attend the funeral service on Saturday morning. The White House is sending Vice President Biden to represent the administration because he has a personal relationship with the Scalia family. It has been slow going this afternoon on one of Lexington's busiest roads. If you have been on Man o' War between Hamburg and Richmond Road, it is probably taking you quite some time to get around. A semi lost part of its load after stopping for a light at Sir Barton, blocking one lane for a couple of hours. Just down the road, an accident at Man o' War and Todd's Road also slowed traffic. The accident scene is clear. The Sir Barton scene is expected to be cleared soon. More than 1 million Walmart workers are getting a raise. That begins today's Money Watch. The company says it will boost its minimum wage to $10 an hour on Saturday. That's up from $9. The change applies to almost all of Walmart's 1.2 million workers. The pay raise won't be cheap. It will cost Walmart an additional $1.5 billion this year. In a new study, the Brookings Institute finds the gap in life expectancy between the rich and poor is widening dramatically, and that can have a big impact on Social Security benefits. Men with higher incomes are living about 12 years longer than lower income men, and they tend to take their Social Security benefits later in life, meaning their checks will be larger, whereas lower income folks are getting smaller checks. It turns out for shorter periods of time because their lifespans are shorter. The way you get your cable could be changing. The FCC voted to move ahead with a proposal that lets cable customers buy and rent cable boxes from companies like Google, Amazon, and Roku. Tom Wheeler, the head of the FCC, says it would help bring down cost and give customers more options. Your passport is something you usually don't think about until you have to go on a trip. And if you are planning to go out of the country anytime soon, you should check yours. Now, nearly 49 million passports will expire just within the next 3 years, and that can mean massive wait times. Mary Maloney explains what you can do now.
Need a passport? The U.S. government says it could take 6 weeks just to get your passport renewed. That's longer than usual. Here's why. Within the next 3 years, 49 million people's passports will expire. You could thank a 2007 federal law for the avalanche of renewals. It requires U.S. citizens to carry a passport when traveling to Canada, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Bermuda. Even if your passport is current, most European countries will not accept passports within 6 months of their expiration dates. To get your passport quicker, act now. Photos can be taken at many post offices, drugstores, even public libraries. The State Department says pictures are the #1 reason why renewals may be held up. To make sure your passport renewal isn't placed in purgatory, be more like Prince. Seriously, the superstar tweeted his epic passport pic, and it meets all government regulations. It's the right size, 2x2, taken on a plain white background with no smile. The state prefers a more natural look. As Prince demonstrates, you can still slay with no smile. Once you get that perfect picture, renew your passport by mail or in person at sanctioned locations for faster service. Then relax and plan that next vacay away. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
How about this? An 80s flashback. High-C Ecto Cooler could be coming back. It was a green-colored citrus-flavored drink that promoted the 1986 cartoon series The Real Ghostbusters. Coca-Cola renewed its Ecto Cooler patent recently, fueling speculation the drink could soon hit shelves to promote the new Ghostbusters movie coming out this summer. It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Overdose deaths from common sedatives have quadrupled during the past 20 years. That's according to researchers from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. The study found in 75% of the deadly overdoses, the sedatives were taken along with opioid painkillers or alcohol. Here's some news about snooze. A new report by the CDC uncovered which states get the most and least sleep. Kentucky is one of the states getting the least amount of sleep, with just 60% of us getting the recommended 7 hours a night. Only people in Hawaii are getting less sleep. Inadequate sleep has been linked to a range of diseases and conditions, including diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and depression. People living in South Dakota are getting the most sleep. Fur and fake fur-lined boots can make your feet feel warm and even in the coldest temperatures feel good. But while this staple of winter gear combines comfort, warmth, and fashion, it could also be a breeding ground for bacteria. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Joy Rowland says fungus likes to grow in dark, wet environments, making the inside of your boots a prime bacteria breeding ground. She says many people are surprised when they come down with athlete's foot in the middle of winter.
We have to address the moisture issue, taking their boots off, changing their socks frequently, and not wearing the same boots every single day.
While some types of foot fungus can be treated with over-the-counter medications, most will require a trip to the doctor for a prescription.